Fixing yourself isn't motivational. It's brutal.
Given that you're in an alternate universe, like literally a different universe from the one that you started in.
Yeah.
Were there things that you thought the right amount of wealth and the right amount of attention would have just, that's not going to be an issue for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That is a byproduct of my situation, not of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a blur, right? You grow up in a household that's chaos and it's falling to bits and the finances are low and the morale's low and, you know, it's chaotic and violent and stressful and the blinds are closed because the bailiffs knock on every day. Like, it clouds what the answers are, because the answers are actually quite sophisticated. But for me, it's interesting. I've got a song called the 10 Graph Commandments, you know, and I say stage 1 is make it, maintain it. And what I'm talking about is, you know, in society, if you've got no money, you're just gonna come unstuck. Just because it's the way that things are sort of built up. You're just not going to get much free time. You're not going to get time to think. You're not going to get time to be yourself. You've got no social mobility. You can't go to the places you want to go. And, you know, some people need to heal, man. And that's why I've tried to make songs that touch on certain topics, because people sort of are out there desperately needing to heal, but without the freedom that money can bring, you don't get the time to address certain situations, you know. So yeah, in my calculations, which I'm quite accurate, by the way, a lot of the time, I feel like even when I'm wrong, I was right. And in my calculations, I thought, first of all, I need some dough, point blank, and I'll get more sophisticated when I get there, you know. So when I got to a place where the dust had settled and I wasn't like new money anymore, and I didn't feel like I was going to go tumbling back to level 1, which it probably felt like that for 10 years. I started to study on a sort of deeper level, because these facets.
Well, rule 2 is protect your energy, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting when you're right. It wasn't everything, but it was the first thing. It's the launch velocity that gets you off the launch pad, right? It's that initial start, and without that, there's multiple costs that you pay, and you can't do much without it. But I think assuming that was good and got me here means that is all I'll ever need and is what will fix the remainder of the problems in my life, is where people get stuck.
Oh yeah, because and like, look, by the way, that's why I say sort of be inspired, because if somebody comes from a 2-parent household where the parents done well and the kid was able to go to university and whatever, like, it don't make that person any less of a person, right? They're still gonna have their challenges, and you got to sort of respect the parents for building a platform, but that child has still got his own challenges moving forward. He can still fall to complete pieces, you know. So it applies no matter where anybody sort of starts. But if you've got no financial intelligence, if there's no one to teach you about money, then you just think that money changes everything. You just think that it's the answer to everything. And it's not until you achieve them sort of financial goals, a certain car, certain house size or whatever, that you're like, because you can see the trophy, right? It's there. And then you pick it up and it's completely hollow. And you're like, oh no. Because I thought inside that trophy was going to be the answers to all my trauma, all my pain, all my fractured and damaged relationships with family members that are dysfunctional and haven't transcended it. And I thought it was going to really, and it's like, no. What this does is gives you the freedom to do the work. And you're just like...
you're telling me that this money is the entry ticket
into
the assault course, which I now have to go and do.
You got to invest in yourself.